Good afternoon. My topic is globalization and trade. Welcome. Globalization is a process by which businesses and other organizations develop international influences or start operating in an international scale. It can also be classified as the increasing economic integration or interdependence of the world's nations. The invisible and working on the global level is that countries make what they have material for, good at, and then they trade for what they need. Globalization is hard to ignore. Take a minute to examine the tag on a clothing. Where did you buy this item? Where was it made? How do you think it got here? For example, you can buy a car, and when you want parts, you have to go many different countries to get parts for the car. Some of the countries are Korea, Germany, and China. Then you have to go to US to assemble. That is a globalization. A next example of globalization is the US import fruits from Chile. The US company Nike manufacturing shoes from Indonesia. When you call the Dell Help Center, you will speak to someone that lives in India. Another example of globalization is IBEX, HSG, and a lot other call center where globalization is providing opportunity of employment. Another example of globalization is Starbucks. This is an American-based company which globally has provided Caribbean countries with employment and goods and service which they produce their coffee and fruit juice from our coffee industry, which is Jamaica and Brazil, and they get their fruits from our Jamaican farmers. Outsourcing and globalization of manufacturing allow companies to reduce costs, benefit consumer with low cost goods and services, cause economic expansion that reduce unemployment and increase productivity and job creation. We must ensure that global market is embedded in broadly shared value and practice that reflect global social needs and that all the world if people share the benefit of globalization. Well, you have things that impact globalization. You have economic impact, social impact, environmental impact. With economic impact is a widening income gap between the rich and the poor. Social impact increased awareness of foreign culture, mass media, product of globalization allow you to learn more about foreign culture. Environmental impact concern over profit versus protection of the environment. Lack of funds to implement environmental protection, environment degradation, deforestation and related problems, and globalization. The roadwork is a very example of the environmental impact because they have to cut down the trees and to make and cut the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UCAD, and other organizations have defined globalization as a dynamic and multidimensional integration of global economics through increasing international trade in goods and services and flows in the investment and finance. They are fluid by policy reform and advance in information, communication, and technology as well as transportation. Globalization has also facilitated the movement of labor, legal and illegal. It works along with liberalization, which enables the opening of markets to removal of barriers to trade, tariffs and non-tariff measures, and deregulation in the financial sectors. Players include countries and transnational corporations, as well as multilateral organizations. Today, a product can have component product in several countries through the global value claim, which means that various stage of production and distribution take place in different countries. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.